Today we have a card game called A Chaotic Life. So it's a life game in card forms, sort of, but not endorsed by the same company that makes life. So few lives go as planned. Grow up, choose your path, accept the consequences, live a chaotic life. What life does go as planned. On the bottom here it says 2 to 4 players, 10 and up. Not for ages 3 and under. Choking hazard, 30 minutes to play. Maybe less. It says, a chaotic life. You had goals, you had aspirations, it didn't work out. Includes 6-7 cards and 50 chipboard counters. Oh, excuse me. A chaotic life brings you back to your infancy, your whole life ahead of you. Excuse me. A life of hilarious decisions, compounding consequences, and unintended futures. Know when to play the cards you've been dealt, and you just might survive your chaotic life. Interesting. So in this game you have these chips. They're both happiness and sad chips. One side they have some are happiness chips and some are sad chips. I'm pretty sure you want the happiness ones. And you have these various different chaotic life cards, which various things happen to you. Like in that case, spouse is getting married. Then you got these, and they could be happy, they could be sad points that you're getting. See, because there are many goals that you have to do. You got adult cards, senior cards, different adult cards, teen cards, child cards, and I believe you start off as a baby. So everybody starts off as a baby. You got there's a crime card there you can commit. You got gifts, amnesia, what the heck, gifts, volcano. You got a cat, that's a pet. You got work. Depending on whether you're a baby, child, teen, or adult, or senior, stuff happens. Cold feet, bandages, robot. Some cards can't be played until something else is played. You got Rick, senior, love, travel, cookies, vault, early riser, injury, graduation, Alex and Ben, dream, unicorn horn, Robert, president, spy, Sean, bottle, spy, Bicky, mouse. Oh, I guess you died. Place this card at the end of the timeline. Okay. Doog, dog, paw, clone, early riser, broken heart, payday, disguise, Condi, bubbles, scar, clone, no fly, bubble, spouse, broken bones, butterfly in the sky, Texas. Oh my gosh, it's still a game that we can't get rid of Texas. Lottery, love, van, map, dream, amnesia, and time machine. Those are your cards. Now, I don't know why there's only one of these. Is this like a single person, one player game? It says it's for more than one player. I guess everybody's living the same life. Let's check it out. Here are the rules. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of rules. Check out all those dang bastard rules. That's a lot of rules. Front and back. Oh, me. A chaotic life. So few lives go as planned. Objective, work with or against your opponents to raise baby through the stages of life. So it's only one life. All of y'all, it's a cooperative or uncooperative game. Okay. Both choosing its actions and accepting the consequences to ultimately live a wonderful or a terrible life. Components. We've looked at those. Remove the following cards from the deck. Baby, child, 1 adult, 1 senior, 2 life goals, teen, 3 mini goals. Setup, building the deck. To build the deck, divide the remaining cards into 4 near, basically like that, equal piles. Shelve the previously remained child, teen, adult, and senior cards into the first, second, third, and fourth piles, respectively. Stack the piles so the child's pile is on top, followed by the teen's pile, then the adult pile, and finally senior pile at the bottom. The deck is now built, allowing your life to progress linearly but still chaotically. Setup, creating the timeline. Place the newly built deck far left on the play area, leaving room for cards to be played to the right as the game progresses. Place the HC and SC above and below the deck. Place the 3 mini gold cards within the play area so all players can reference them anytime. Leave room to the left of the deck as this will be used as discard pile. Cards will be placed here. Okay, so it looks like you, of course, start off with this card, then you get these other cards and the mini gold cards, and life goal, okay, face up, finally place the baby card face up in the right of the deck. It creates the central person and begins the timeline. Setup, choosing a life goal. During the game, each player will work towards 1 or 2 possible life goals on the 2 life goal cards, a happy life or a terrible life, and these goals determine whether players aim to collect happy chips or sad chips. Respectively, the number of players determines how goals are chosen. Okay, so that's cool. So those give this one a happy or a sad life. Those 2 cards that were in there, they stay out too. And then, of course, the 3 life goals, mini life goals, stay out. And that's the object of the game, is to probably try to meet those 3 life goals. The item pouch and discard pile. During the game, you have a great variety of item cards at your disposal. They can be very handy if you need to alter your opponent's plays or enhance your own. The item pouch helps keep things tidy and ensures your favorite items are close by without the need to clog up your hand. Each player may store 2 item cards face down in front of them. These item cards act as if they were in your hand. They can be played, traded, stolen, etc., but do not count towards your hand limit of 5. Other item cards beyond the 2 in the pouch can still be held in your hand and do count toward the 5. The discard pile sets to the left of the deck. Cards are placed here if they have instructions to do so. Players need to discard down to the hand limit, etc. Players can also draw from the discard pile as an action. When the deck is exhausted, the discard pile is shuffled and becomes the new deck. So if your opponent discards something you'd like, be sure to grab it on your turn before it gets shuffled away. The back is 4, so page 2. Page 2. 2 players. The youngest player chooses 1 life goal card at random. This is their goal. Their opponent takes the opposite goal. 3 players. The youngest player chooses 1 life goal card at random. This becomes all the players' goal. 4 players. The youngest player chooses 1 life goal card at random. This is their goal. The players to the left and right take the opposite goal. The remaining player takes the youngest player's goal. The result is 2 players with the goal of happy life and 2 with the goal of terrible life, each taking their turn after an opponent with the opposite goal. Starting the game. Now it's time to begin your own chaotic life. After choosing life goals, deal 5 cards from the deck to each player that fills the hand limit of 5. If any players have been dealt either the volcano or gifts cards, they discard them and draw replacement cards. The youngest player then takes their turn beginning of the game. Remember, players collectively play as the central player. Through their life, each player action affects the central player and so affect all other players as well. So remember, it's not just your life you're messing up. What's in a turn? During a turn, a player may complete up to 3 of the following actions. Play a card from the hand or item pouch, draw a card from the deck or discard pile, trade cards, counters, or a combination of 2 with any other player, claim a mini goal if requirements are met, swap a combination of any 2 items, special, or pet cards for 1 counter of the choice. Discard a card to the discard pile. Players can play more than one of these same actions per turn and can also choose to do nothing and simply watch their life pass by. When a player finishes their actions, their turn ends, and they either discard down or draw up from the deck to their hand limit of 5 cards. As a reminder, the item pouch does not count toward the hand limit, and moving cards back and forth between the item pouch and hand is not considered as an action. However, players cannot move item cards into their pouch after drawing back up to 5 card hand limit. When drawing back up to their hand limit, if either the volcano or gifts card are drawn, they are played immediately, started to the cards, started as stated on the cards, after which the player continues to draw back up to their hand limit. After returning to their hand limit, the player to the left takes their turn, and so on. Players' games continue to take turns till the game ends. Actions. A more detailed description of many actions available to the players. Play a card. The player uses a card from their hand or item pouch. These can be played to the timeline, used against opponents played in front of you, or to affect other played cards. Each has specific rules, requirements, and these are detailed on the following pages. Draw. The player takes the top card from the deck or discard pile, so will you take what you can already see or gamble for a chance at a different but perhaps better card? If the volcano or gift cards are drawn you from either location, they are played immediately and your action is complete. You do not redraw, unlike the start of the game with the initial cards. Trade. The player trades with an opponent. However, what a player holds is a secret, so you'll have to attempt a trade. Auction style. Hold up a card you want to trade. Ask if anyone would like it, and field offers. A trade consists of cards or counters. An action is used only if a trade is completed, so if no deal is made, the player has wasted an action. Mini goals. The player claims a mini goal if the requirements are met. These are available to everyone, so players will need to plan well if they hope to secure them. They have very difficult requirements, but reward greatly. Mini goals give players side areas to focus on guiding the life of the central player to complete them. Swap what's unusable. During the central player's life, some cards may become unusable. The CP may become injured while in the child stage, and so if the bandaged child card appears later on, it would be unusable. This situation, the card can be seen as a missed life opportunity, so during a player's turn, they can swap a combination of any 2 item, special, or pet cards for a counter of their choice. The card can come from the player's hand or item pouch and are removed from the game face down. Discard. The player discards 1 card from their hand or item pouch. It is placed face up on top of the discard pile. This is a great way to lower the number of cards in your hand to ensure a larger amount of cards gained after your turn when you draw back. Dang it. Draw back up to the hand limit. Cards and how to play them. Cards can affect the CP central player differently depending on which stage of life they are in. Which age card has been played most recently? This means that cards can have vastly different results depending upon when they are played. Age cards are played in chronological order, meaning the teen card can only be played if you currently a child. The adult card can only be played if you you're currently a teen, etc. After all, you can't skip life stages no matter how painful they might be. When an age card is played, if the central player satisfied any events shown on the card since the previous stage of life, text across from those events is read, and player who used the new age card gains the counters. The card is then added to the end of the timeline. Example, the central player is currently a teen. Mark plays the travel card and collects one happy and one sad because he ran away. Jenny then plays the adult card and collects one happy because the CP was a traveled teen. Event cards can be played at any life stage. The event card is added to the timeline, and the text on the card across from the current stage of life of the central player is read. The player who used the event card collects the happiness or sadness, and or sadness. Special cards are just that, special. Their requirements are as well, so be sure to read them closely. Some of these cards are placed on the timeline above certain other cards that they affect. Each special card details how and where to play it, so the best way to learn about each is to play them. These cards truly do marvelous and terrible things. Interact cards are used to interact with your opponents both positively and negatively, steal cards, swap counters, and even cause a volcanic eruption. Item cards are used to alter effects of other cards. These can be played at any time, not just on your turn, as long as the conditions on the card are met. They can alter the effects of other cards for you as well as for your opponents. These cards are to be played immediately when another is played. Pet cards allow you to raise pets alongside the central player, the mouse, the cat, the dog, etc. Cards are played in front of you, and they're worth happiness at the end of the game if they remain in play. But if the mouse card in play and a cat card is played after the mouse is removed, as in the case for the dog card versus the cat. Neighbor cards are played in front of you, stacking up to 7. It seems it does take a village to raise a child. Neighbor cards give rewards depending on how many of them are played. Player has played, and as you play more neighbor cards, their rewards get better and better. Cards to consider: Gifts and Volcano. These two cards are played as soon as they're drawn, for they affect more than just the player who drew them. Prepare to give your opponents a gift, or lose a card to chaotic. Let it flow when these cards come up. Early Riser. It truly does pay off to get up early when you play this card and pay the assorted costs, one counter of the type you are most of. You'll be able to take an extra action during that turn, so instead of the usual 3, you'll be allowed to take 4 actions, and playing the early riser card doesn't count as one of them. So get up early whenever you can. Death. Don't take this card lightly. For whichever goal you have, this card will hurt. When you play this card, you collect 3 counters of type opposite your goal. So a player with the goal of a happy life will collect 3 sad, but that player may have a large amount of happy stocked up to buffle the sad, absorbing them with enough happy left over to remain in the lead. So while this card can end the game while you're in the lead, use it only if you can handle gaining 3 counters you don't want. Other small reminders. When playing a 2-player game, shuffling of the deck is removed to prevent a linear progression of age cards from breaking. When a card states to shuffle it back into the deck, place the card randomly back into the deck instead. Do not shuffle the deck. This ensures a timeline that will age properly for the CP. However, the discard pile is still shuffled to create a new deck when the previous deck is exhausted. If a player has no counters of either type, they cannot play any card that costs a counter. Seems you're just not ready for that part of life yet. If a player has an equal amount of both counters, they choose which to spend when playing a card that costs a counter. If a spouse card has already been played above an adult card and a player would like to play the other spouse card, they can do so by placing the new card on top of the first spouse card. They then collect a counter. The CP just got remarried. How to win or lose. The game ends if either no players are able to choose to take any actions for an entire round, CP dies due to the death card. All players then add up both the happy and sad and find the difference. One of each type of counter cancels out, so players will be left with just a few of one type. Example: Mark ends the game with 10 sad and 6 happy, so Mark is left with 4 sad. Results is a terrible life lived by Mark. Any cards which give happy or sad, mini goals, pets, etc., are now added to the owner's total. Whoever has the most counters related to their goal wins. If players tie for the highest goal amount of counters related to their goals, the player who has the most total counters is declared the winner, for they live a much more chaotic life. Special thanks to all these people. Legal. Find out more at grubton.com. And thanks for playing A Chaotic Life. So that's A Chaotic Life. The game. The card game. If you want a good life, even if it is chaotic, you live your life for the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember God and live a godly life. A biblical life. Remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Keep on gaming. Keep on collecting. Like, comment, subscribe, share. This seems like a pretty fun, interesting card game. I think it would be, fun. Fun to play with a few groups of friends or family. And you might want to play it over and over again because, you might want to try to get a better life next time. And it can be played in, it says, 30 minutes. So, probably could be played in 30 minutes or less. Maybe an hour at most. But, yeah. Seems like a pretty decent, cool game. Not bad. So, have a great day, everybody. Laters. There's all the components again. Laters. Guys and girls. Game on. Life on. Chaotic on. Hope you enjoyed this video.